Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Lobotomy Corporation reaction. Today we have another one of Hakma's themes, and I'm not going to be making another Hakma Balls joke this time around, but I don't know what circle rombed oxygen means. I don't know the word rombed at all. I tried to look it up and nothing came up except for another person asking on the subreddit what the hell rombed means, and they did not get an answer either, so I assume it's just nonsense for the sake of it. I can't even think of an etymology that makes sense there, but either way, another Hakma song. So I'm kind of expecting something similar in tone to the other one, but that is a character theme versus what might just be like a battle theme or something, so I'm not fully sure, but I won't know until I listen. So without further ado, let's go. Oh, no, that is very different. That's nothing like the other theme I'd heard. Now that's bassy. This is very strange. Also, I do know that this apparently does loop once or twice, so I'm just listening until I don't hear something new, but so far also gives me more time to just listen to it. This just feels like stress. Like stress that's trying to keep some form of order. It's that bass line is trying its best to stay normal, but everything else in it is like barely holding on. Kind of wonder if that's the point, maybe. I really like this atmosphere that this part brings in, though. Slows things down, lets you catch your breath just for a moment, but like everything else in this song just feels like you can't catch your breath no matter what. Also, the biblically accurate clock back there is unsettling. I guess you could call this looping. I don't know if I would call this looping, but I guess the song itself is kind of looping, but there's enough detail in there where I'm like, I want to listen to it all the way through. They do change up little things in how it's structured. I assume that's the end. Good lord. Okay, that's different for sure. So I didn't mention this earlier, but Quirky Person from my Patreon is the one who threw this into the queue, and he did say that this looped, and I really didn't feel too much of a loop aside from the overall melody in there. Of course, had its moments where it would like cycle back, but there was definitely enough change throughout it that it didn't feel like it was a looping per se. It felt like it did have some sameness going on, but it was still just a little different enough that I was like, okay, there's a unique section here. It didn't feel like it was an exact copy paste, which is more what I expect when I think of a loop, is when the whole song starts again and doesn't have any more evolution or changes. This one had enough where I was like, okay, yeah, let me listen to the whole thing, and every single layer, like I was saying, had something going on. I am very confused with this one because the character I know does not necessarily match with this song from what I had discerned last time. But again, that can really be the difference of a moment in the narrative space. Maybe this was a point where he just was overloaded with information or was extremely stressed out. That's what I was getting out of the song. The way that this one was structured felt like somebody who was trying to keep the very wet, loose puzzle pieces of their life together and trying to make some sense out of it without much ground. The bass was there. The bass was kind of rooting everything as it does, but everything else around it was just so distorted and flippant. It felt like it didn't want to stay put. And that is a very clear indication that the character is going through stress or just not having some sort of expected result out of whatever they're going through. In a way, it almost feels like a character who has been known to be very stiff, stringent, and strict, and then all of a sudden is kind of awoken to the thought that they might be something more than that. Like for the first time ever, they decided to break free from the rule book and tried to do their own thing, and that kind of psychologically broke them a little bit, and that's where all that distortion comes in. That's something I could totally see with a character like this, especially in a world like Lobotomy Corporation has. It would totally be in character for the universe that they're in. So maybe that's what's going on here. For the first time, he was like, you know what? I need to wake the fuck up, and he did, and this is the result of that. I'm assuming that's what's going on here. But Tilarids, again, with the sound in this one, the sound design of Tilarids, just God, every little bit in there, every little layer felt like it was trying to say something. And I do know that Tilarids' work apparently was made not in exact conjunction with the game, that they just used the music for the characters later, and these were made before or separately from the actual game itself, which is insane how well they're able to match those movements, and the fact that they can have that song to structure around these sorts of emotional breakthroughs are insane. I love the attention to detail there. That's nuts to me. But as much as I love that, I also gotta say I prefer the songs that are written with the characters in mind and able to match that perfect character growth that they're going through, whatever emotional state they're in. When you're able to have the song and then write the character around it, that almost feels a little bit more like a cheat code, because then you can't really get it wrong. You basically have the playbook to work from, but that doesn't make it any less impressive. I still love that. I just think that there's a little bit more creativity to the opposite, where you have to write a character and then have a musician write around that character's story beats, and it just feels like a different process to me. But sick nonetheless, and I still don't know what Rombed means, or Rombed. I still have no clue what that is. If it's an actual word in the universe, I would have no idea, of course, so somebody please tell me if that is just nonsense, because I think that's what's going to keep me up at night about this song. Everything else about it was kind of what I expected from Tilarids and the rest of the music in Lobotomy Corporation, Limbus, and that general family of music. They really do pay attention to those details, getting the characters down just completely pat with the songs they have around them, and vice versa. So I really have no notes on this one. It just sounded kind of sick. So I guess without further ado, that's about all I got to say on this one, and thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other songs you want me to get to from Lobotomy Corporation, Limbus, or anything else in this family of Project Moon games, by all means leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get to them. I was clued in that there is apparently some more music coming fairly soon that one of my Patreon members does want to request, so I'll probably be getting to that one pretty quick. But either way, if you have something, let me know. And if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!